Thank you very much for inviting me, and it's our privilege to let you through the basic anatomy of the eye and why it is of any importance. Something about myself: I'm a board member of Ocular Melanoma in the Netherlands, and Bianca, who is with me, she's my daughter. She is the coordinator of the Ocular Melanoma group in the Netherlands, and we like to be here to hear your experiences, and this morning was already very informative. So let's get started. Well, the goal for this presentation is to use basic anatomy in and on the eye for a better understanding of your ocular melanoma. The different ocular melanomas, there's not just one ocular melanoma, are differentiated between the different primary sites. So I like to use a metaphor to see the eye as a house where a fire has started. So here we have the house, there's a fire, and there's the fireman. And here we have an eye, and there's the eye doctor who needs to find out if it's a melanoma and how to treat it. So it is important, where did the fire started? Important for the fireman, important for the eye doctor. Is it in the awning, the conjunctiva, which in your eyes on the tables are not visible, but it's as thin as this, and it's surrounded the white part of the eye, and it goes under the eyelids. So if you blink your eyes, it's always soft because the conjunctiva is there. That's also a site for a ocular melanoma, and that's a very rare form, but you can understand if you have a rare form of a rare disease, sometimes you feel neglected. So that's why I always emphasize there's also the conjunctiva. And then we look at the house, we have seen the awning, and now we go inside the house. There's an anterior room and there's a posterior room. We need to find out where is the melanoma. The anterior room is behind the cornea and between the iris. So that's the anterior room. Then a little bit further, I use the metaphor as the stairways, the ciliary body. And if you look at a 2D picture, it looks like a little thing. It's not a little thing, it's circular in the eye. And then we come to the part of the choroid or the retina, and that's the most common form of ocular melanoma. And why is the primary starting point important? The importance of the primary starting point. The conjunctiva attached but not inside the eye, the iris in the anterior chamber of the eye, the corpus ciliare right behind the iris, and the choroidea, the most common in the posterior part of the eye. Mind you, the uvea is the corpus ciliare, the iris, and the choroidea. So there's 3 types of ocular melanoma within one group. Yeah. It is crucial for the eye doctor where the tumor started to destroy the tumor with the least damage to the surrounding structure. Let's have a look inside the eye. Then I want to emphasize, we're all looking at the models, but the actual eye has this size. This is the eye of one of the doctors. So he made a 3D model. Can you imagine? This is so small, and this is the eye. So if you can see the conjunctiva, it is outside the eye. The iris and the conjunctiva are very close together, but they have different genetics. So different treatments for different genetic disease. And then we have the retina. And why is it important to know the different sides of the retina? If you look at the macula, it's only 1 square millimeters big. It's like a nano chip. So you can understand if the ocular melanoma is within that area, it definitely makes a difference in your eyesight after the treatment. Can I have the last picture, please? So this is the last slide. So here we go from the pupil. The pupil is actually an opening. It is not an organ, it's an opening. The iris opens and closes, and then, so the light goes all, there it says fovea. Fovea and macula is almost the same. So you can understand that the fovea there, if the ocular melanoma is there, it's definitely going to affect your eyesight. And then when it's close to the optic nerve is going right, it sends the signals to your brain. So that's also a very vital point for eyesight. And then, of course, the ciliary body, that is almost invisible because it's behind the iris. Mind you, we look inside, but normally there's no light, so you cannot see. So it depends where the ocular melanoma is, what is the genetics, what are the treatment possibilities. Do we have any questions? I would like to make it. Please take the eye and look inside. Do you have any questions? Because especially for new, if you have your ocular melanoma for a long time, you know where it was, and you know how much it affected your vision. But if you're new, you don't know. Yes?
Turn on any moment? Yeah. I'm sorry, I just wanted to say sorry about the sound. We're going to have a play with the speakers at lunchtime, but this actually sounds a lot clearer, doesn't it? So yeah. You're okay using that one?
Okay. Is there anyone with a question? Yes. Oh, yeah, I don't want to drop off the stage.
So sorry. I'll say to you. So, anatomically,
Yes.
is there a reason why the posterior room is more common than the anterior and the awning for developing ocular melanoma? So, cell structure and anatomy, is there anything predisposition?
It's not really it's not really how do you call that?
Disposition.
Disposition. I'm Dutch, yeah. So yeah, that's okay. The genetics the genetics make that what we hear today, a nevus, a freckle, a birthmark, can change into an ocular melanoma. That is in the genetics. So there are different drivers in the genetics that can cause ocular melanoma. The driver is the starting point. And I'm sure we will learn about this for more intelligent people in the afternoon. But there's a driver, like in a freckle in the skin, there's a driver. Every freckle has a driver. Not all freckles become a melanoma. Same as in the eye. Not all nevus, freckles, birthmarks will turn into an ocular melanoma. And then on the conjunctiva, which is on the outside, they're totally different. There's also sun damage, because especially in the section when it's open to the air. So that's a different sign. And then the genetics in the ciliary body are almost the same as the uvea, the backside of the eye. And if you look at the iris, which is technically the same part, is also part of the uvea, there are different genetics and there are different treatments. So yeah, so that's why it's important to know your own eye and where was your melanoma.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any more questions? And there's no stupid questions. Yeah?
So the organisation you're from, do you research melanoma? Are you a clinician? What's your sort of background?
No, I'm a melanoma cutaneous patient. When I got a cutaneous melanoma, I've been working in ophthalmology. I'm an optometrist since 40 years. So when I had a melanoma in my ear, I said, melanoma in your ear, they only exist in eyes. So that is my position. So I became the board member because I did a lot, and then we got, I don't know if the name Dick Plomps tells you anything. Yeah, Dick Plomp was the board member for ocular melanoma in the Netherlands. And when he was getting ill, he asked Bianca and myself to take over, because he said, well, you're a very annoying woman, but you asked the right questions. So here is the annoying woman. And it's sad we don't have Dick with us, but he is always with us. And so that's why we're representing Stichting Melanoom for the Dutch ocular melanoma patients. And that's why we also have our ambassadors, as we learned today, for to make an organization for a special day in a certain area. Mind you, the Netherlands is very small. From the north to the south by car, it's 2.5 hours. But still, people want to be in their own region, also in a small country like the Netherlands.
Can I ask if you know why you get a uveal melanoma that's not related to a nevus? So
that's a very good question, and we should ask an eye doctor, but formally it was always from a nevus. It starts from a nevus, but it's very rare, but it can also start as a de novo. Mind you, we have melanoma cells in most of our body, also the linings. The mucosa has melanoma cells. So originally, they say it starts from a nevus, but then later on, because sometimes you don't know if there was a nevus before. But with the diabetic programs, people are getting exams and they take pictures of the inside of your eye, and then they see nothing, and all of a sudden there is something like a nevus, or there's the black spot. And it wasn't there before. So we have learned, I think this is 4 years ago, they can also start as de novo, like not from a nevus. But
I didn't have a nevus.
no, so you're one of the exemptions, yeah. So that's why it's important to have your eyes checked in the back of your eyes. And I think, it's frustrating that you're not in the category of you have a nevus freckle and you think it's benign. Yeah, so it can start as de novo, yeah.
But I know from photographs. Sorry, I know from photographs that there was nothing there the year before because I have glaucoma, so I'm checked every year. And then the following year it was 11 millimetres, which I've never really understood how it could suddenly appear that large.
I don't have an explanation for that either. It's the same as in the skin. Sometimes you get a melanoma from a freckle, and sometimes you get a melanoma de novo. That's possible too, but I don't have the exact answer, sorry.
Does anyone have any other... Sorry. Hello? Does anyone else have any questions? Brilliant. I'll let you stay there, Martina.
Quite loud, naturally. Hi. Yeah, so I was going to ask, are there any known triggers for what would trigger a melanocyte or anything like that in the body to activate after having not been dormant for years?
Yes, that is also investigated. In the skin, of course, there's a UV damage, so you can see. But some people have a melanoma in the mucosa. You can have it inside your nose, inside your mouth, in your genital parts. So it can start everywhere. In the skin, it is, because it's UV light. You can also... No, in the eye, although they say that I don't know. They say that the blue blocker is better, but sometimes if you have the ocular melanoma in the back of the eye, right out where the pupil opening is, you can understand there could be sun exposure. But as far as I know, but we have to ask this afternoon, there's no known cause. Because also, if you look, for example, at the back of the iris, there's no sunlight coming in, and you can still get an ocular melanoma there. And of course, the conjunctiva, there's publications now that they say so you always have to wear shades because you have to protect your eyes. Also the conjunctiva for the sun.
Any more questions? Any more questions? Fantastic. Okay, we'll have... I think no? Yep, now. Brilliant. Well, thank you again for bringing the models.
Yeah. It's very good they didn't stop us at customs.